Hey guys, so I'm gonna really quick run through what I feed my chickens and my ducks. I feed them all the same mix of food, but I do some additives and I do some like mixing of some different foods. So I feed my birds all Kalmbach Feeds. Kalmbach is family owned, based out of Ohio, I believe. I really like it because it's pretty much what I've used solely since my ducks and my chickens have gotten to laying age, and I have had no problems with it. All the reviews online are really, really good for this stuff. And I mean, I get at least an egg a day from all of my birds when they're in laying season. The one thing that I do kind of like tell people when they ask, I do feed Kalmbach like layer pellets to my ducks also. So if you actually looked on the back of the bag, it does say for chickens and ducks of laying age. So I do feed this to my ducks and my chickens, but for my ducks, I do actually mix in also a Flock Maintainer, which also has niacin. Niacin's not bad for chickens, but it is something that ducks need. You have to supplement niacin a lot for baby ducks, like ducklings, but I do just kind of mix that into the food that I'm making just as like an extra additive for them. Since I'm not feeding like duck and goose food, I am feeding layer pellets to my ducks. I do like to supplement some other stuff in there for them and also let them free range. So they're out here doing their thing right now, just eating a lot of grass and bugs, which they are amazing at. And they also don't really like tear the yard up. So that's very nice. They're very gentle. And honestly, they just like mow the grass that I don't mow. So that's really convenient, to be quite honest. So if I can get this open, that'd be awesome. So besides just obviously the food, I do mix in a couple different things. First, I mix in grit because all of our birds are in like an enclosed run for the most part, so they're not naturally foraging to get rocks to help them digest their food. So I do supplement grit in their food. The other thing that I do supplement for them, because they are egg layers, I do supplement calcium to them so that they do have the ability to have really nice shells on their eggs. I've gotten a lot of compliments on how actually healthy the eggshells on our eggs are, so that's always a good thing. Less broken eggs, less, cleaning up broken eggs in the coop, and it's just nice. But yeah, so I supplement that. I do also supplement, obviously, grit. So the next thing that I supplement for my birds is red pepper flakes. So they contain capsaicin, which when given in correct proportions does help limit intestinal parasites for birds. But it also keeps rodents out of the food. Because it's spicy, it does keep mice and rats and all that kind of stuff out of the food, which is nice. I mean, they get into the coop and stuff, but the chickens don't exactly like them in the coop, so they don't really spend too much time. But yeah, I do supplement also flax seeds. Flax seeds are really high in omega-3s, so it's really good for obviously just like flock health, but also high omega-3s in your eggs. And it also actually helps with their feathers. So yeah, I like my birds to have nice pretty feathers because they're just pretty that way. So I do supplement that. So yeah, I kind of just like more or less eyeball a little bit. So there's some mixed in. And then, so the last thing that I add is oregano. It's a antimicrobial and immunity booster for chickens. So I just add it because it doesn't really cost that much. I buy all of this stuff in bulk off of Amazon. And basically, I just kind of eyeball, put it in, and then I mix. You can hear some of my hens are laying. Just because they're chickens they do eat more in the winter, which seems counterintuitive because they're not really laying as many eggs, but they're also working a lot harder to keep themselves warm. So I kind of get it. I think humans also eat more in the winter, even though they're doing less. We're just bored. It's, how it is. Oof, that's heavy. Oh, hi. Ma'am, I leave all of their food and water just like really close here so I don't have to go into the run because sometimes the rooster's kind of a dick. So basically what I'll do is I will alternate. Just because like, I have to show you this. they really like water. So they're pretty thrilled when Kyle does this. Well, this isn't like bad for the chickens necessarily, but I don't supplement it specifically for the chickens. So usually I'll like do a mix of this and then I'll fill the duck feeder so they're getting predominantly this since I'm adding it for them. After obviously I filled the chicken feeder with specifically what I'm feeding to my chickens. I do think the layer pellets are the right move for ducks if you want them to lay eggs. These give me the ick because they kind of look like ticks, to be quite honest. Like they're nasty looking, but I could probably find an easier way to mix that, but I just don't really give a shit, so whatever, it is what it is. Which I need to clean their coop out. Cool. As you can tell, a lot of our setup is pretty much just based on ease. The feeder for them is literally right inside the door, and the feeder for them is literally right inside the door. It's mostly just set up for like convenience. Yeah, so, you know. I do also run starter and razor for from Kalmbach. I don't know. I just find it's like very high quality food, and I have very happy birds with it. So why would I change? You know, I've never really heard a lot of bad things about it. So just yeah. Oh hi, honey. Hello. She said, "Nah, dog. I am out of here." I will not lie, I am the one who's like very particular about what I feed my birds. So I'm usually in charge of this mixing process. I do feel like my social media feed does kind of feed me this narrative or content that very much makes me concerned about what I feed my animals. Like they're part of our family, they're our pets, you know, and I definitely care about them. Maybe a little too much sometimes, but it's okay. One more bag. I do buy the grit and calcium in bulk from Blaine's. Yeah, so I do buy a lot of stuff like this in bulk and then just keep it. I mean, the bag that's like 5 pounds is like half the price of the 40-pound bag. So if you get the stuff to like store it, it's kind of a no-brainer, honestly, in my opinion at least. So you guys can't see it, but all the ducks are right under you right now. And now they're chasing each other. Nice. Don't chew the bag. Yeah, so that pretty much concludes how I mix up my bird food. If you have any questions about anything I just did, just leave them below. And also if you have any other things you want me to like make videos on or talk about, or even just like listen to me rant about, yeah, just let me know.